Hello everybody, it's Massive Fox here, bringing you another knife review, and today we'll be reviewing this guy. This is the Arcane Design Abyss. This is a sick knife. I have a lot to say about this knife, but first off, if you're not subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. I post every week, and if you like knife and EDC related content, I got you covered. I post a lot of that stuff on this channel, and I think you'll find something you enjoy, especially if you like some weirdo on the internet talking a lot about knives. Okay, now let's get right into it with starting off with length on this guy. This is going to be a full review. I do have a quick video of this guy also on my channel if you want something quicker, so then go check that out. This is actually, it looks big, but it's actually not too long. It's just a hair shy of the overall length being 8 inches, so approximately like 7.98, give or take, 7.9 maybe. Then the blade right here is just under 4 inches, so yeah, it's like 3 3/4 of an inch, and then the cutting edge is 3 1/4. So that's actually really good. That's really all you need is 3 1/4 inch of cutting edge, and you got yourself a nice workable tool, usable tool, workable. Yeah. All right, and then weight on this guy. This guy is titanium, so it's not too heavy like steel frame locks are. See if it's kind of a weak battery, but it is milled out in there extensively. It's actually really cool, so that cuts down a lot of its weight. Makes us look heavy, but actually is a pretty light boy. All right, get over here, scale. Don't you dare resist me now. Dust gets on everything. Hello, scale. Everybody say hello to the scale. All right. 4.35. So that's not too bad. I definitely like them results, but I'm not too picky when it comes to my knives. No offense if you are, it's okay to be picky. That's what's great about the knife world. There's plenty of knives, and you have the right to be picky on what you carry, which is pretty cool. That's one of the things I love about knives. Let's see, where are we? Size comparison. Let's do size comparison now. This is definitely a full-size knife and is probably too big for some people. But let's start off with the Para 3 PM2, Para 3 Sparco PM2. So as you can see, it's a little bit more comparable to the PM2, but coming in just somewhat close to the Para 3, but not quite there. Maybe handle. But the blade is definitely shorter. Now, if anyone noticed, which I'm not sure if you did or not, but I used to use the micarta PM2 for my size comparisons with the Kruger, but the micarta is, was it? The liners and the micarta are, side by side. They're not, countersunk like this. So I thought this would be a little bit more accurate, since that more people have the G10 that have the countersunk liners than the micarta, where it just rides up against each other. So I thought this would be just a tad bit. I mean, there's really no difference between the two, but I think that this just makes more sense for size comparison, in my opinion. Maybe I'm just overthinking it. Next, let's do the bug out. Get through these size comparisons. I'm already 4 minutes in, and I don't want to lose your attention. I need that watch time. So it's more comparable to the bug out, but the bug out is still much smaller in both blade and handle, which makes sense. Next, do CGRB Feldspar full size and CGRB Feldspar small. So, yep, more comparable to the full-size Feldspar. So at a glance, this knife, probably on other people's YouTube channels, or if you see this knife on the pictures or whatever, it probably looks bigger, but it's actually more on the line of the Feldspar, more of a full-sized knife, not really that, in my opinion, that big. Just has more of a big presence, I think. And then last but not least, Spada Medium. Cold Steel Spada XO. Look at that. This thing doesn't even fit on my entire camera. Right. So, yeah, as you can see, it's this guy's dwarfed by these two. Gotta be careful when putting this away. Last thing I want is to lose a finger, which is problematic. All right, now let's do the height on this guy. Up against the Period 3. So as you can see right here, the Period 3 is definitely going to be riding a little bit high, as it usually does, because of that big hole bump that you see, but not too much, but noticeable. And then it's definitely going to ride, if you're a bug out carrier, it's definitely going to ride just a tad bit higher, but not too bad. It does have a flipper tab, so it will, be a little bit higher in both directions, but not really that big of a deal, in my opinion. But that's just my opinion, man. Width on this guy. I always forget about the width and then put my knife over here. All right, width on this guy. So as you can see, this guy is definitely going to be a much thicker knife, especially with these pivot collars right here. So you got yourself the thicker titanium with a thicker blade stock and thicker, pivot collars. So the overall thickness is going to be much thicker. Period 3 is quite a thick knife, but the Arcane Abyss is much thicker. So do with that information as you will. Now let's do blade thickness on this guy with my calibers. On. All right. Right back here. Boom. Okay, we got 0.15 inches on the back. And let's just do a little bit down here. 0.03. Now that's not really a definitive test on the blade thickness right here. That's just kind of like a ballparking, or it's not really telling you too much about the edge geometry. So don't take that very seriously. Now handle. Oh, let's see. Getting the pocket clip in there. Let's restart because I'm not sure how badly I messed that up. So we got 0.53 on the thickness of the handle, which is not bad. All right, now price on this guy. I can't remember what I paid for it. Prices have gone up since I remember. I thought I paid, I don't know why, I thought I paid $350 for this, but I can't recall because that was a long time ago. But I just looked on their website. It's going for $360, which is pretty high. But to be honest, what you're getting here, I think it's worth it. I truly believe that that's a decent price. Nothing too extravagantly like, whoa, that's a great price, and nothing like, I feel like I'm being ripped off and being charged overpriced. No, I think that's just fine. You can get this in Damasteel, which is cool steel, for those who like to show off, which is going to run you $620 if you got that kind of loose change running around. You can opt to get the pricey steel. Okay, now let's do the cut test, and then I'm going to get a little bit more into the information and specs about this guy, and then talk about my personal opinions and ramble some more, because we all know we love hearing me ramble, right? All right. Now, I've never sharpened this knife, but I have used it quite a bit, but nothing too crazy. All right, so I am actually very very pleased with the cutting of this knife. It feels very nice and smooth. I don't get any of that grittiness, but that's also one of the things I really like about M390, even though I'm becoming quite a fan of CPM 20CV, which is practically the same thing, but I feel like that one takes just a little bit of a better edge, but maybe I just need to do a little bit more tests with M390 to really, see which one is my favorite. Or maybe I'm just, psychologically, convincing myself that I like 20CV better because they're practically the same steel. There's just a little bit of a chemical difference, but they're practically the same. Yeah, but I'm really pleased with was it edge on this guy, that compound grind, because that's what this is. This is a combination of a compound grind, tanto, and clip point, which is just amazing. But I really like this compound grind because it's very thin right here. You do have a little bit of a thickness up here, so once you pass this area, it is going to slow down your cuts. But it's not really that big of an issue because of how thin it is right down here, and it definitely makes that initial cut very easy, and it just wants to go all the way through. Once you get up to here, it kind of tends to snag. So you definitely want to angle your cuts just right so then you don't snag on this, the transition point, as I guess for lack of a better word. That's what it felt like. It felt like it was snagging right there. But if you do it just right, you're not going to feel it, and it's going to glide through it. It's really good. Trust me. I've used quite a bit of knives, and what I've noticed with a lot of knives, especially like stainless steel knives, they tend to have a grittier edge. In my experience, I really like these kind of steels. Powder metallurgy steels are really good, which M390 is. And it's a well-balanced steel of edge retention, sharpenability, corrosion resistance, and toughness. So it's very balanced, which I really like. But one of my favorite things is high-speed tool steels like D2 and M4. To me, I think those take like the best edge of my experience so far. I'm no metallurgist or professional in any shape or form. I'm just some guy who's at home just filling about knives and just eventually cuts a cardboard box with them. So take everything I say with a smidgen of all-season salt. But in my experience, I prefer tool steels. I prefer, these, what do you call them? Non-stainless, tough steels. To me, I just think they take a better edge than most stainless steels that I use, or even sometimes was it S90V or not that one. Sorry, S35VN and S30V. Those tend to be very gritty whenever I use them. And they're not really my favorite steels. I actually prefer D2 over those because of just the edge D2 takes. Maybe I'm not doing it right. Maybe I'm not sharpening them well enough. So if you know more than I do, just please let me know in the comments if I'm not sharpening my S35VN knives or S30V knives very well. And maybe just D2, there's something else different about it that I just sharpen that one better. But that's just in my experience. So with these powder metallurgy steels like this one, it has a very, very nicely done edge. Now, let's see. I talked about price. Now let's talk a little bit more about some of the specs on this guy. This guy is using titanium, which is 6AL4V titanium, which I know really nothing about. Besides that, it's titanium, and it's cool. Then you got this nice anodized, I think this is titanium pivot color. It might be aluminum, because I know the red right here is aluminum, because you can't get this bloodshot red on titanium. So I'm not sure if this is titanium or aluminum, but that's really cool. They do have different finish. You can get the black PVD coated handle with black PVD coated, sorry, I said it backwards. PVD coated blade with the handle, or you can get this dark stonewash with, I think it was a PVD coated handle. They do have other ones, but a lot of them are out of stock. So just, get prepared for that when you go to their website. You got a nice milled pocket clip right here. It carries right there. Let's see, right there. So it's a little bit shallow. So you do have quite a bit sticking out, but not too bad. I find that acceptable. Acceptable. This is manufactured by Riot, so this is made in China. But yeah, Riot does a really good job. I have one other knife from Riot besides Arcane Designs, which is the Riot XO, and my experience with that knife has been nothing but amazing. I love that knife, so I only expect mostly good things from Riot, and what I hear about them is that they're really good. And yeah, and like I said before, this is a compound grind with a Bowie style and Tanto blade, which is really cool combination. You don't really see much things like this. You could definitely tell that this is an Arcane design. There's really nothing like this that you can really see on the market. A lot of knives tend to look quite samey, where Arcane design, in my opinion, stands out really well. They stand out amongst the competition, just in quality and design. Was it aesthetically? This is extremely pleasing. That's one of the reasons why I buy from Arcane is that they're very aesthetically pleasing. I really like the way how he does his knives. Now, a lot of his knives do have similarities. You can definitely tell an Arcane design when you see them because a lot of his design language tend to translate from most of his knives, but mostly in the handle. The handle is really what gives it away that it's an Arcane design. The blade is really what changes the most. That's in my opinion. You could definitely see, once you put them side by side, you can definitely see the difference between them all. But at a quick glimpse, most of their handles do look quite the same, with slight differences. This one looks the most different because this is a collaboration with Israel and Elijah Isham. But really, the main thing that sticks out is the blade shape. The handle stays a little bit more or less the same. You could definitely tell the difference because this one has more. It goes down a little bit more, but it has a much wider finger opening here, and then this one has a more of a choil. This one has a wider finger opening, but it goes upwards down here into more of a diamond shape. And then this one has kind of a combination of this guy with this guy, or actually maybe more like this guy. So you can definitely see that this handle is more of a Arcane design language, and then you can see that these right here, this looks very Isham right around here with all these little inlays and whatnot. So that's really really cool. If you see them side by side, you can definitely tell and pick out the differences that he does change up his handles quite a bit. The thing that stays the same mostly on all of them is the pocket clip. Slight differences, but most are more or less the same, except for the plexus, of course. This one looks quite different. So you can definitely tell that he really thinks out his designs very well. Stands out from the competition, in my opinion, in just design language and just making his knives very interesting. And I highly recommend reading the description of all the knives that he sells. He has a really cool description on all of them. It's like a story to them on why they look like this and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's just like short stories on his knives. I highly recommend checking those out. It's very interesting. This one is the Abyss, and it's the thought kind of like the thought around it is a knife that you would take on any adventure with you. This thing is you're going to be your companion. And yes, I would definitely, if I'm going to jump into an abyss, I'm going to take this guy with me. That's something I definitely would do. Now on his website, I don't think he has any more of this two-tone finish. I pre-ordered this knife and I got this two-tone finish, which is the PVD blade with the satin flat area, and then you got this folder right here, which also is black in there, and I just really like the contrast between those. It looks really, 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 really good. And then I had like so many black knives. It was just everything I was buying was black, 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 black. And I don't get me wrong, I love black knives. That's why I have so many of them. But then I was just like, I gotta do something different. Everything I buy is always black handle, black blade, black this. I was like, I gotta bring some different color. So I was like, but I still want black. So I went with the two-tone finish and got the black blade, but with this nice gray handle. And yeah, it looks really good, but I don't think he has any more two-tone finish in on website, but he does have some other finishes that you can get. So if you want this guy, I highly recommend checking out his shop. And also, I highly recommend checking out his new designs for 2023. He's got some really sick stuff coming out in 2023, which is this year. And yeah, you're definitely not going to want to miss that. He's got the crypt, he's got the creature, he's making a fixed blade necronaut, so I am so stoked on those. And this is his designs are just amazing. He's got was it caged ball bearings or caged bearings, which allows the action to be extremely smooth on deployment and a nice controlled drop with some effort. You can get it down there. And the flipper just peeks out ever so slightly. It's not too long. I do like my flippers a little bit longer, but this works just fine. Just a little tiny thing of mine, but otherwise it's not really that big of a deal. You can access it very easily and flick it out. It comes out really nice, and you can push button it as well. Oh, I failed that because I was pressing on the lock bar. Sorry about that. Oh. I did it not too long ago, but now I'm on camera. I'm failing it. Good Lord. What did I do wrong? Feels like it's getting gritty. What did I do to it? I was fine just a second ago. Okay, sorry about that. I might need to lubricate it. I think it's got some grime in there. I've been using this guy for a while now, so that's probably my issue with it. And then it's got a nice steel lock bar insert, so it's not going to wear down your titanium frame lock and become loose over time. Lockup is nice and solid both ways, and then it has this nice click, which I really like. There is kits for this, so you can change the color of your pivot collar, and you can change the color of your pocket clip. I'm not sure if he has any left on his site, but go check the Arcane Design group on Facebook. There's a lot of people selling a lot of their Arcane Design knives out there, and you might be able to find somebody selling maybe the color that you want for the pivot collar or the clip. And it's using T8s all over the body, which makes me extremely happy. I hate T6s. T8s all the way. Thank you very much, Israel. That is a A++++ in my book. You did a extreme win by doing T8s. Screw T6s. And there's some people who actually managed to reverse flick this guy using the fuller right here. I cannot do it. It is extremely tight. I have no idea how people do that. Oh, hey, I think I kind of just did it. Let's see if I can do that again. Okay, you can kind of do that. It just requires a little bit of a nudge. But yeah, I just use the flipper. It's much easier. And I think that's pretty much it. I don't think I have too much more to say about this. This is an epic knife from Arcane Design. Just another win, in my opinion. I may be an Arcane Design fanboy and just like gushing over it, but I really like his designs. He reminds a lot of his designs remind me of was it Israel's designs remind me of Elijah Isham's designs. May he rest in peace. Not by similarities, because you could definitely tell them apart if you put an Isham knife next to an Israel knife. You could definitely tell them apart. But what I like that his remind me of his is just a very well thought out, interesting, aesthetically pleasing knife. That's what I really like. Their knives are borderline art, in my opinion, and that's one of the reasons why I get drawn to their knives. Because in the knife world, you see a lot of basic designs. You see a lot of people trying to be the next Bug Out, or I see people bring up and go like, this is going to be the Bug Out killer, whatnot, and like, you ain't killing the Bug Out. Don't kid yourself. But in a lot of knives you see are very basic designs, and that's okay. Those are still good, but I really like Arcane, and I really like Isham designs because they stand out. They look different. They look interesting, and they're aesthetically pleasing. They do other things that other companies don't normally do. So that's one of the reasons why I really like them. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked hearing me ramble, and I hope you got something useful out of this. I do highly recommend going to check out Arcane Design and follow them on Instagram as well, and follow me on Instagram. You can find my Instagram in the description. And leave a comment. Tell me what's your favorite Arcane Design, or did you just discover them via my channel? If you're want to really like this knife, and if you're gonna go buy one. Yeah. So I rambled enough. I'm sorry. I tend to do that a lot. All right. And I think that'll be it for this video. I hope you like this video. If you like more knife and EDC related content, check out my other videos. Remember to subscribe because I post every Saturday and every other Sunday. And there'll be more knives and more videos in the future. Thank you so much for watching and have a fantastic day. Bye.